This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on point and Anna Knox. Here's Wilson, and on the right circle, he scores!
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And a hat trick tonight, number 21,
Hello, welcome once again to the Power Play Point podcast. You're listening, hopefully, live to tape with me, the Blue Liner on Point, live from Glen Burnie, Maryland. And it's looking out my window, and it's a dreary holiday weekend. Well, not holiday, not yet. If you're celebrating Christmas, that is. But if you're celebrating Hanukkah, I believe the 8th and final night just wrapped up. So hopefully it was a happy, if not crazy, 8 nights for you of the Hebrew faith out there. With me, as always, is the one and only Mermaid, live to tape from Centerville, Virginia, Anna Knox.
Hey, Gal.
Hey, oh, you're feeling festive today. I wonder why that is.
A little bit festive. It's finally on break, thank God. But I'm still looking forward to officially having a day in which I don't need to change my clothes, I don't need to drive my car, I don't need to go to the store. So I'm hoping that maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see. Whatever. I'm not in school. And my Niners play.
What? Right. Well, the Niners are in the playoffs already. They've already clinched. So
I know, but it's still.
I know. You still want them to do well. But so you've got a few days left, because I'm on a school schedule too. And
no, I'm off.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. No, our last day was Friday.
Must be nice, because I got to finish out. Well, not the whole week, but we're not done till Wednesday.
But you know what? For all the years I've been doing this is really the first time that we've left this early, that we are back in school January 2nd. And that's just a blow. Like, so January is, I always feel like what the weather is like right now, like that is the entire month of January. It's just blah. Everyone's like holiday hangover. The kids are annoying, like everything. And I'm like, really? January 2nd, we're coming back? Dang. So yes, I'm appreciative I can kind of get things ready in the house, but I really don't have that much to do anyways. And then that I would rather go a couple more days and then go back later in January, but whatever. Yeah. I don't get to choose. It's the parents of Fairfax County that do. So
yeah, true. And I don't start till Wednesday, or I don't get to kick back until Wednesday evening. Caps happen to have a game that night.
Nice.
But we don't start up again till January the 4th because of that. So
there you go.
Trade-offs all around, I guess. So it was like Anna kind of said, it was kind of a meh week. Caps game wise, one regulation win, one regulation loss, one shootout loss, one 1-1.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I think this week defined how we can expect things to go with this team. They're good, as I like to keep saying, but they're not quite there yet in terms of being good enough.
Right.
And again, this week kind of showed that in a lot of different ways, as we'll try to explain as best as we can. So the focus game I want to be yesterday's game against the Predators, and not just for convenience's sake because it was the most recent, but again because it defines this team in a lot of different ways. So let's get through the first two. The first one was a win against the Chicago Blackhawks, and that was last Sunday night when we last left you. And yeah, it was a pretty good game, a pretty good start anyway. I think the Caps kind of, and this has been kind of their hallmark this year. They have not finished well
Mhm.
in a lot of their games, and they came kind of close to giving this one away. So they give up the first goal again, 6:49 in, and then Mantha ties it, and then Strome puts them up 2-1. Dowd puts them up 3-1, and then Dowd gets another. I actually thought that Malenstein got the first goal, but it was credited to Dowd. So third and fourth for him,
Excuse me.
no problem. And then Chicago pulled their goalie and got one late, and they were threatening, but time ran out on them. Caps defense gives up 34 shots. Kemper gets 32 of them, not bad. Power play still over. 32 penalty minutes for the Caps in this one.
Mm.
32.
That is, I don't have words.
Well, 20 of those were 2 10-minute misconducts.
Right.
With 3 minutes left to go. And yeah, again, questionable performance by the men in the stripes, but not that was to blame. But all in all, I mean, great game for the third and fourth line. Mantha and McMichael hooking up. Dylan Strome getting his 11th, and of course the fourth line, basically slammed the door shut.
Right.
So thanks to those guys, and Kemper did a decent job in goal. And yeah, so but it was you gotta remember it's the Blackhawks, and well, they're not exactly tearing it up this year. They're not expected to be much good. Hence the fact that they got the number 1 draft pick last year. So yeah, that is what all it is. So you got to kind of put that in perspective. Moving on to their next game, which admittedly neither one of us are going to have much commentary on. It was this past Thursday in Philly against the Flyers. I was kind of watching this at a distance because I was preparing something for well, it should have been Wednesday. I was under the impression all of our staff would be there on the Friday after. They weren't. But my Thursday evening was somewhat occupied with preparing a few things.
Were you doing the chocolate grapes?
How did you know?
Because we've been doing this show for 7 years, and each year that's what you do.
Oh, okay. God, am I that friggin' predictable?
Yes. Yes, you
Oh,
are.
okay. I guess I am.
But it's all good.
All right. As long as it doesn't mean I'm boring.
No. No,
What?
it's
No.
funny.
Okay. No. I put a twist on them this year. I did chocolate grapes and blueberries.
Oh, well, hey now. Go crazy now. All right.
Yeah, you know me.
That's good.
Yeah. Mr. Rogers with a chef's hat. Anyway, so that's that was kind of interesting to watch the game, being stuck, managing a bunch of melting chocolate, and kind of sort of trying to watch the game. But from my perspective, well, okay, just looking at the score sheet again, Caps fall behind early, 2 minutes and 14 seconds early. And stop me if you heard this before. Third line ties it. And stop me if you heard this one before. Tom Wilson scores.
All right.
I mean, okay,
Why
we're not
wouldn't
getting.
he?
We never get tired of saying that, but I
Nope.
mean, consider that we're what 20 some games in, and it's already his 10th goal of the year.
He's so
That's
badass.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but we've been seeing it a lot, so almost come to expect it. So
I don't get tired of it.
no, we're not tired of it. and also definitely not tired of it, considering the fact that it was on the power play.
True.
Um, and he roofed it like somebody from Long Fences.
Yeah.
Caps let the Flyers back in, though. They tie it, and Strome puts them ahead again. Flyers tie it again. Back and forth we go. Overtime was fruitless, and then shootout was, well, the shootout. And as was pointed out by another loyal listener, Diane Doyle, we don't really have the horses in the shootout anymore, like we did. TJ Oshie was one, and he didn't connect. I don't know, was Kuznetsov even dressed for this game? I don't think he was. He was not. Yeah, he was not dressed for this game. And so I think there was only one goal in the shootout, and it was by the guy that started the scoring in the first place, Bobby Brink. Caps again give up 32 shots on goal. Charlie Lindgren got 29 of them. Good performance, but not enough to hold off the surging Flyers, who are actually in second place in the division. So they're not yesterday's Flyers. Doing pretty good under Coach Tortorella this year. Yeah, boy. And power play struck once, thank goodness, but again, not enough to make the difference. Caps had to go on the power play or the penalty kill 5 times this game.
Yeah.
Such ass fuckery. And I don't know. I'm not going to bleep that out just for effect because, because it was really, really, really awful officiating again. And looking at the officials, well, our old friend Bo Halkitis once again makes his presence known by either calling dumb penalties or calling friggin' nothing. Where they
I was going to say, or not calling.
2 feet in front of his face, even though the same call had just been made 5 minutes earlier. I really can't say enough bad things about the officiating, and I'm allowed to because I'm a fan. So fine me the hell all you want. I'm fine with that. I got no money anyway, so y'all can suck it. No, well, I got money.
You could be the Giuliani of our show.
Okay, let's not get into that, but yeah. But yeah, basically the refereeing sucked again, and I mean 5 times they had to go on the damn penalty kill, and that's not a good thing. I think it played a part in their wearing down, because you could kind of see that they did break down a lot. Malenstein unfortunately made a really bad clear that led to one of the goals. I think it was the game tying goal that where that happened. So unfortunately, we said last week about the long running script for the game. I don't know that they have anything planned yet for the third period. I don't think they've gotten that far in, but work in progress, as we say. Okay, so that brings us to last night's game against the Predators. And yeah, this one, okay, yeah, it's a loss. Yeah, it's going to hurt talking about it. But this one I want to do the deeper dive on, because I think this was actually something of a winnable game. I think for some reason, again, the Caps decide to take too long in getting going. Their penalty kill, which has been pretty good, gives up the first goal, 5:03 in. So again, stop me if you've heard me say this before. Caps fall behind, give up the first goal, no other scoring, and then TJ Oshie ties it on the power play in the second period. The Caps were buzzing in the second period. Way outshot Nashville, tilted the ice way in their favor, 13-6. And then it just falls off a cliff after that. And
but it's like, but again, if I don't know, did you watch the whole game?
Oh, I did.
Okay,
I even watched a little bit of the replay later just to make sure
I
caught what I saw.
Did you see how fast the Preds started?
Oh yeah,
and continued? it was kind of like, I don't know, the puck dropped and they were like, okay, let's go. And fast and physical and all over the place. And we're like, hey guys, wait up, for a little bit. Like, and then they were kind of like, oh shit, like this team's not they're not giving up. And that was a disappointing thing because then you're like, okay, second period, look at them, like they can do this. And then not, it's like, and again, officiating sucked and whatever, but this was just one of those like, I agree, like we could have had it, but we didn't.
Well, if we could kind of roll that back a little bit to the "Hey guys, wait up," that kind of like the little kid in the Christmas Story movie.
Well, see, Gil, this is why we do it. Yeah, when he's like, "Come on, guys, Ralphie," and that's totally what it felt like. It was like Predators came out. God, that fan base is insane. They were pumped and ready to go, and we were just like, I don't know, 5 steps behind. Hey guys, come on now.
Yeah, and what's worse is the Predators played the night before. This was the back end of a back-to-back for them.
Hmm.
And they were clearly the team that was more prepared to start and finish the game.
Yeah, true.
And it was like, okay, well, we know we're going to have to weather the storm at some point, but let's go ahead and get off to a pretty good start. And they did. And yeah, they were far more the aggressive team, and it showed. And
Yeah.
I don't think the Caps had an answer for that. And this is why we're doing the deep dive on this game, because it could have been played a lot better. Maybe they don't get the win, but maybe they get more than a loss in regulation. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, and even when they controlled the play, unfortunately, it got turned around and backfired on them, because during one of those, well, the back end of, I would say about the, I want to say the 11th or 12th minute of the second period, they really, really took over and completely took over, stayed in the Predators' end of the ice for a good 2, 3, 4 minutes solid. And then at the tail end of that rally, and if you watch the replay, this could have been played a little bit differently. But if you watch it, there was kind of a bit of a miscommunication, and it looks to me like Joel Edmondson kind of, if he really put out a little bit of effort, maybe leans in and puts his stick on the ice flat, he blocks that clear that ends up on Phil Tomasino's stick,
Mm-hmm.
so that he gets that breakaway, and which ends up being the game winner. But 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I guess maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't have, but a little bit more effort there. Maybe that rush gets stopped and it's a different ball game, but still, here we are again. They make one mistake and it's in the back of the net, and the name of the goalie isn't Kemper, it's Lindgren this time. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to. I'm not trying to twist the knife into Charlie's fans, which he's got a dedicated fan group. I'm kind of opposed to that. I mean, we have our favorites. We've got our guys, but to me, when it comes to the goalies, you support them both.
Right.
So
We just
that's
don't
kind of,
with this group.
I know, but that's it. It's kind of a hallmark of this group. But I get that Charlie has his fans, but you know, again, it could it have been stopped? Maybe, but it was a breakdown of the defense. It was a miscue, a misplay that led to the goal. And what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And it proves that it can happen no matter who is in the net. And until they learn to cut down on that, until they learn to get more in sync with each other, this kind of thing is going to happen, and it's going to show up a lot more. over the course of this year. So as a reminder, again, this is going to be something that we're going to have to get used to for this year, because they're still trying to figure it out, and they're going to spend the better part of the year figuring it out. Now, if they're on the trajectory that they're on, they stay on that trajectory, then they will have it a lot better figured out. Pardon my broken English. Sometime next year, I would think. But um, this is year one in a 3-year plan, 3-year plus year plan that is going to have to. It's you need things to cook. You need time to to gel. Anna, when you make one of your famous meals, you don't pull it off the stove 5 minutes after you put it on, do you?
Of course not.
Of course not. You don't turn off the burner. You don't stop cooking until you're actually done cooking.
Right.
And unfortunately, the Caps aren't done cooking yet.
Well, I think what happens is, we hit the ebb and flow of being fans of a sports season that is incredibly long.
Yes,
and
I could not have said it better myself. Sorry, continue.
I mean, like when you joke about like, the Niners, well, it's like, okay, they've got 16 games, and then like, we're done, kind of thing. And when you're doing this, it's like we start off strong and everyone's on board, and then then there's got to be the target player that everyone is like, why do we have Phillips, or why do we have so and so, and then we got to do the goalie thing, and then everyone's supporting. Now everyone's a huge Mantha fan. Weren't a couple months ago. So we're in the ebb and flow of fandom. That's what it is right now. And what we're seeing is the cringeworthy transition team. Our vets are getting older. We're not hearing their names as often. I wrote that thing on our Facebook page last night about the hockey gods with Ovechkin. I again will say the mad respect I have for him as an athlete, not just because he's a Capitals player, but just as an athlete in general. He did not give up last night. My God, just cut him a break. Like, just let him, because it's like he's in the, the mind fuck stage right now, where it's, he knows all he has to do is score, and things are going to start to fall into place. But we are like so close, not close at all, so close, not so much, and it's getting frustrating. And then you just then you start to get sloppy, and then now you're just shooting at whatever. So I don't know, like maybe Carolina game today, their fans are, I can't stand Predators fans. I'm just starting to be like, I hate all fans but us. But maybe something will click, and it'll be like, hey, Christmas miracle. Like, let's just see him score something, because the desire and the drive and the commitment is there. Just cut him, just let him get one.
Well, I'm glad you brought all of that up, Anna, because I, for one, am getting a little tired too of the dialogue. It's like, okay, well, he's gone now, what is it, 11 games, 12 games without a goal. This is easily his longest drought. Maybe he's washed up. Maybe he's at the end of the line. Okay, well, fine. Say all you want, but here is okay. So, yes, one game. This is one game. I get that. But here are some raw numbers for you, okay? From last night's game. No goals, true, but 1 assist and 1 point. 6 shots on goal.
Mm-hmm.
6. That led the team.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so let me see if I'm reaching you out there on the other side of the earbuds, the speakers, what have you. 6 shots on goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe none of them go in, but He's still putting out the effort. And by the way, speaking of effort, 21 shifts for a total of 23 minutes and 7 seconds on ice. There's only one guy who was on the ice longer than he was. Okay, so you're curious. Yes, of course it was John Carlson. Who else?
Sorry, I didn't know if you were asking me. I was sorry.
No, I wasn't. I was just putting that out there. But somebody listening will be like, "Well, who was it?"
Yeah,
But
John
yeah,
Carlson.
of course, John Carlson. But I'm just saying, he's still producing. Okay, yeah, he's not getting goals that are upping that counter towards the record. Yeah.
But don't we think he knows that? I mean, shit, people. All we did last season was talk about this countdown. To the point where we're like, I have the bobblehead countdown. Like he doesn't know. I mean, come on, and it's not. And that's what's so annoying is like people, oh, he's washed up. Really? What are you doing? Are you 38 playing hockey? Don't think so. Shut the hell up. What do you know?
I wish I had half the energy that he has when I was 38 years old.
Exactly. I mean, I was like, whatever. And it's that negativity that just gets me so pissed because as soon as he scores, everyone's going to be like, that's right. That's our captain. I'm wearing his jersey.
Shut up. Everybody.
You were ready to burn it like the last couple weeks. And now you're, his favorite fan and ready to get, his face tattooed on your ass or something. So give me a break. Give me a break. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the stuff. Like there's so many comments. I'm like, hey, you know what? When they score, I'm going to post something or whatever. I can't get into the group chats because I feel like if I could jump through my phone and throat punch a couple of people, I would. I would. Not that I'm in a bah humbug and I'm not in a winter festivus mood, because I am. And I love our team and I love our fans when they're fans. They're not being, critical and yes, critical or constructive criticism is being offered. But when you're out there just being a jerk, just to be a jerk, yeah, nope.
Which unfortunately, a lot of these, and again, I'm doing the air quotes that you can't see with my fingers, fans do. I think a lot of them do that just because, oh, look at me, I'm smart, I'm making this witty observation and being funny at the same time. Right. I'm my own meme. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Go fester in your mom's basement.
100%.
And a lot of these so-called fans are going to be the same ones that as soon as he has his first 2-goal game this year, they're going to come right, like you just said, they're going to come right back out of the woodwork, crawl from whatever the hole they were hiding, and say, "Oh yeah, I was with him the whole time." Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and depending on who is between the pipes, they're going to be like, "I knew Kemper had it in him. I knew Lindgren was our guy." Shut up.
Sure.
Right.
Win as a team, lose as a team. And I think too many fans have gotten so jaded and so spoiled at watching this team have so much success. I hate to take this tone, but until I stop seeing it become so prevalent in so many rooms and so many places, and this is why we're on the motivation that we are, because when you learn to watch the game as a better educated fan, like Anna said, you learn to look out for and appreciate the ebb and the flow that is a full season in any sport, for that matter. I hate to go back to this team because, yes, I know they're not the Caps, but there was a point where, and Anna, you may want to cover your ears, but there was a point where the Niners lost, what was it, back-to-back games, 3 games?
Oh, yeah. Well, and there was also a point where the Niners lost several seasons. Like, they were a terrible team because it was a rebuilding time.
Right.
It was, and we'll even keep it local. Look at the Commanders. Everybody was the biggest Commanders fan week one, and it faded and it's still fading. Because they don't understand that, hey, they're going to have a new coach next season. They've got, they had all their changes. This is what happens. Like, again, how boring would it be if your team was, 84-0 every season? Like, it's not possible, but it would also be incredibly boring. So that's why every team has vets. Every team has new players coming up that are younger, faster, quicker skills. It's kind of cool to see because at one point our vets were those players as well. So it's nice to see when you can get a chemistry going of lines of, players who are like, oh my God, Ovechkin was my idol growing up. And he's like, dude, I'm only 38. But yeah, and these kids are excited and they are kids. Some of the 18-year-olds out there, my God, 18. I'm surprised I wasn't arrested, but I was like, okay, I was just finishing high school. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, yeah. So, I mean, even though this is my last episode of the year and I'm not being snarky about it, I'm just very matter of fact, which is kind of my personality. I'm supporting this team and people need to start getting around not just the Oshis and the Ovechkins, we have to start focusing and cheering on and supporting all of the players and not just getting, stupid because number 8 hasn't scored. He will score. I promise you, he will score multiple times. But just, hopefully he's not even on social media because I'm sure they're like we always joke about, the I don't even know what you want to call it, the creepers in the basement kind of thing, who want to just say all this trash just because they can. Really, I'd love to see you say it to his face. Really, I'd love for you to just be like, hey, I've never played this sport and I don't know how to skate, but let me tell you what I think is wrong. It's like, come on. So hopefully he's not even I don't think he is paying attention to any of that shit, but it's not like he's not aware that he hasn't scored in 11 games or however many.
Right. And again, as I like to point out, it's not as if, okay, so he's not scoring goals, but
exactly.
he's still making a contribution. And he's still committed to the team.
Yep.
Do you hear him asking for a trade? Do you hear him complaining about his ice? Hell, do you hear him complaining, period?
No, I know.
Okay, scratch that. Yeah, he's complaining a little bit, but only about himself.
Right.
That he's not getting it done. He's not complaining about the coaching. He's not complaining about the team. He's not being this soft, self-centered a-hole that, well, okay, maybe some have made him out to be, even now. Maybe he was like that early in his career, maybe because he was a younger, less wiser guy.
Who wasn't cocky when they were younger? I mean,
exactly. But now he's, he's earned his stripes and he's older and wiser and he knows to look within. And, I don't, okay, I do understand it. A lot of people, like we said, it's a lot of people who are just cynical and can't see the good if it sat on their face and did a wiggle dance. But it's also people that are quick to turn on this team. And again, perspective people, it's a retooling year. It's a transitional year. You're going to have games like this. You're going to have, hell, they're probably in for a few weeks of this kind of thing, if we're being honest with ourselves, because especially when you consider the schedule. But before we get to that, Anna, you mentioned the 18-year-olds. I'm glad you did because not because you wanted to avoid any felony charges, but also the World Junior Championships are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's worth mentioning that 2 Caps
Ooh.
prospects
Yeah.
have made the United States of America under 18 team.
It's
Uh,
crazy.
they
It's
being
freaking awesome.
Ryan Leonard
Mm-hmm.
and I hope I got his first name right. Ryan Chesley.
Yeah.
I think it's
Both
Ryan
Ryans.
Chesley, but the Chesley, the defenseman they drafted, I think it was 2 seasons ago, that is not getting, I think, as much love as he ought to be getting, but I think is will be a factor on this team for years to come when he's ready. We're talking 3-4 years down the road, but he's definitely one to watch. Now, the guy I was surprised didn't make his team for Canada was Andrew Cristal. But that's fine. That just leaves him more time with his junior team to kind of stew about it and say, all right, okay, fine, you leave me off. I'll show all you people what I'm made of. And that he's the kind of guy that thrives off of getting pissed off. So that fine. That's only going to be a good thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Especially at that age.
that'll be fine. I'm not disappointed in him at all. But so again, the kids are just fine. Don't worry about the future. It's a lock as far as I'm concerned. Now, let's kind of put this thing in the old parking garage by going over the next few games
Mm-hmm.
to round out the year. We've already mentioned it later on this evening, 6 o'clock puck drop. It's the Hurricanes who are starting their well. Not that they were playing horribly, but they weren't playing as well as we're used to seeing them play. They actually have more regulation losses than the Caps do. But part of that is because they've played more regulation games than the Caps have done by a strange quirk of scheduling incompetence. But yeah, that's the next game this evening, and that's going to be a real tough one because they're always a tough out. But I think if they show up and play their game, that it'll actually be competitive, which is what I'm wishing for.
Me
They
too.
don't. Yep, they don't play again until December the 20th. That is a Wednesday. Is that Wednesday?
When I'm on break, the days all just run together. So you should
That
sure.
actually, yeah, I flipped the calendar, and that actually is indeed a Wednesday. And that'll be on TNT, fortunately or unfortunately. And that'll be against the Islanders, um, which again, pretty good team, and a team we've already had some trouble against
Mm-hmm.
this year. So that'll be another test. And then the Blue Jackets the very next night, and I think the Caps are home. Let's see. Are they home against the Islanders? Trying to look. Yes. So it's a back-to-back quick homestand. Islanders on Wednesday, the next Thursday night against the Blue Jackets. So that is 3 games in 5 nights, and then the 4th game in the 6th night on December 23rd. So Christmas Eve. They stay home, I believe it's against the Lightning. Do they stay home? Yes, they stay home against the Lightning for that tilt. So that takes us into Christmas Eve. And as Anna said, this is her last show of 2023. So let me virtually reach across the table, and shake your hand for another year. Well done.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you very much. But
Always.
we have a guest co-host lined up for the Christmas Eve show. If you're listening and you want to be part of the show, we have the final episode of 2023 open for anyone who wants to join us then for our year-end special episode. Whomsoever wishes to join me as co-host or commentator or contributor, those slots are open. So that'll be New Year's Eve, and I think we're going to go ahead and record earlier in the day so y'all can participate in your whatever festive opportunities you will be partaking in, whatever they may be. You don't have to tell me. But yeah, we're only going to cover those 4 games next week, and then it'll be whatever the rest of the games are leading up to the calendar year. So that's what's in store. A lot of tough games. So that's why I say Caps are probably in for it. I think they need to start solidifying their lineup. For one, it would be nice if we had a healthy Kuzi who would. I don't know if he's. I don't know where he's getting it from, but I think we need for him to stop getting sick and be a more consistent presence in the lineup. I think we need to stop with Matt Phillips playing 2 minutes and 45 seconds a game.
All right.
I think that needs to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe send him down to Hershey, give him some more time there, or call up Hendricks and give him more time here. However you want to figure that out, but wearing your guys out by playing one guy for less time than it takes for me to heat up my lunch in a microwave. Come on. I love the coaching this year, but that can't. No, sorry. That's got to go. That can't. That's not sustainable. Is the word I'm looking for.
And I had hopes for him. I still do, but it's okay to learn. We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning, and I think in some situations he'll thrive, but I still think he's, among others, he's still finding his way. So that's one gripe. We don't really have time to go into some other gripes I have, but that's really the one thing that I noticed. And again, it's whatever causes a drag in your energy level is not something that is definitely not something kind of obvious to say that, but definitely not something that is beneficial to this team. And when your game is outworking your opponent, you need all the energy you've got. So whatever adds to that is what you've got to hang on to. So coaching staff, the team, they need to find a way to do that. And I think they'll be okay. Maybe not, break out of the first round okay, but okay enough. As in, maintaining being fun to watch, which they still are for the most part.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think this is a good place to stop for the week. And Anna, once again, thank you for all that you do for this calendar year. I will speak to you, I'm sure, at certain points in the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
And into next year when we get going again. But thank you once again for all of you do and all of your talents and your lending your time and efforts and everything. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
Oh, right back at you, go. Right back
Okay.
at you. I'm looking forward to flipping the calendar and yeah, kicking some ass.
Yes, definitely. All right. So for the last time for 2023, for the Mermaid Ananox, this is the Blue Liner on Point signing off with the both of us and reminding you that if you think swimming with dolphins is an expensive proposition, you should try swimming with sharks. I know. It cost me an arm and a leg.
I was really hoping for a Christmas miracle on this one, Gil, but...
Well, call me Scrooge.
All right.
Hallelujah, and let's go Caps.
Go Caps.
This has been another episode of the Power Play Point Podcast. All episodes are available from Apple Podcast, the Podbean app, blueliner77.podbean.com, and now available from Stitcher. Music by Joe McAllister, voiceover by Jeffrey Conkle.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Power Play Point Podcast. Thanks for listening.